Hello and welcome to this video. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to secure a REST API. So first we will create simple REST API using Springboard, and then we will integrate the application with openApi. After that I will show you how to configure the application to use basic authentication. So let's get started. So first let's create a new project using IntelliJ. So in File, New, and using the Spring initializer. Let's save it here, demo group. Next we will add Lombok and Spring Web. So let's create. So project has been created. So let's create an entity that will accommodate our resources. New Java class, let's call it person, annotated with this Lombok annotation. Value to make it immutable. It has only 2 fields. Now let's create REST controller. Let's call it. We annotate the class with this annotation, REST controller, and we define some resources. And we define some dummy entries in the constructor. Now we expose this resource using this method, annotated with this annotation, and this is the path. And we define a method to add a new person. We parse the body, the request body, using this annotation. It should be a person, and we add it to our list. And we annotate this method with post mapping. We are done. Our REST API is ready to be used. So let's test it. We run our application. So the Tomcat server is running. Let's test in the browser. We open get all person, and you see we can access. So now let's integrate Swagger, and for that we will use Spring Fox. So all we need to do is to add this dependency in our POM XML file. We will add this dependency. So let's reload. And after that we need to define a configuration class here. We call it Spring Fox config, annotated with configuration, and inside this configuration class we will define this docket API. Let's see if Swagger is accessible. We rerun the application, and let's see again under this path, and as you see Swagger is available, and I have 2 endpoint gets, so we can try it now. And you see we got the 2 persons. The next step is to secure the application, and for that all we need to do is to add this dependency in. We will add this starter security. First we reload Maven. After that we will add this configuration to override some default behaviors. So let's create new class and let's call it security config. We need to annotate this with this annotation to be detected by Spring, and we will enable web security. This configuration will extend, and we will override some method, override the configure that accepts this argument HTTP security, and we are just telling that Swagger, this path, should be accessed without authentication. However, this path has to be protected. So if you want to access this one, you should be authenticated, and we tell the program to use HTTP basic. After that, the authorization who can access this resource. Everyone I am using for testing purpose. The in-memory authentication, I defined this user demo that has this role, and this is the password, should be encoded, and this is the function that will hash the password. Let's restart and see if this will work. So server has been started, and you see now we are required to enter a password. And let's check the Swagger UI. Is the Swagger UI is accessible without authentication, and this is according what we did here. So now if we try to access this one, we are again required to be authenticated. We can configure Swagger to use authentication inside this endpoint. So let me show you how to do that. So inside this Spring Fox we need to add some information. As you see, this is the docket. We define security context returned by this function. So this is my security function, and this is the reference, and the reference is defined here. We tell Swagger that we are using basic authentication and so on. So this is the configuration you should do in the SpringFox config. Let's rerun the server and see what will happen. So now if we try to access the Swagger, and you see we have this button authorize, so it is added to Swagger page. And you see also on endpoint level, you see this log here. Let's try, so you can either log in here, demo authorize, and you see now we are logged here, and let's try it, and you see we got the information in JSON format. I hope this demo was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and bye.